Someone else's name was on the transit pass. Lee Gang-hyuk checked the paper 3 times under his flashlight. It was not his name. Kim Seong-dae, a name he did not know. But the photograph was his face. Without question, his face was attached beneath a stranger's name. It was a winter night on the Amnok River. The river wind was sharp. The river had frozen over. Snow covered it in patches. Gang-hyuk was crouched behind a boulder 50 meters from the checkpoint. His hands were frozen. His breath came out in clouds. He looked at the pass again. His face, clearly, a different name. How had this come to be in his hands? Lee Gang-hyuk was 33. He needed to cross this river tonight. His father Lee Dong-chol was on the other side. 5 months now. He had gone there to work and then contact stopped. A month ago, word came through someone he knew. His father was sick, very sick. Gang-hyuk had applied for a transit pass. He waited 2 months. The pass was not issued. No reason was given. Then 3 days ago an unfamiliar man approached him in the alley. Short, wearing a worn coat. The man spoke in a low voice. "If you want to cross the river, come to the warehouse behind the station tomorrow evening." Gang-hyuk spent an entire day deciding whether to go. He went. No one was in front of the warehouse. But an envelope was stuck to the warehouse door. He opened it. A transit pass was inside. The transit pass he was now looking at, with the name Kim Seong-dae. He turned off the flashlight. Absolute darkness settled around him. Only the sound of the river wind. He thought, could he get through the checkpoint with this pass? The photograph matched, but the name was different. If the officer looked closely, he would be caught. He did not know what would happen if he was caught. But his father was waiting. 5 months with no contact and then a single message that he was very sick. That was all. He stood up. He turned his coat collar up. He put the transit pass in his pocket and walked toward the checkpoint. There was light at the checkpoint. One officer standing. As Gang-hyuk came close, the officer held out his hand. He handed over the pass. The officer picked it up, looked at the photograph, looked at the name. His heart hammered. The officer said Kim Seong-dae. Gang-hyuk said yes. The officer handed the pass back. "Go through." He exhaled. He said thank you and passed through the checkpoint. He walked across the bridge over the river. Frozen river beneath his feet. The wind pushed hard against him. He walked quickly. Partway across he heard footsteps behind him. Slow. He did not stop walking. The footsteps drew closer. Someone came to stand beside him. He turned his head. The short man. The worn coat. The same man who had spoken to him in the alley 3 days ago. The man said, "You got through." He said, "Was it you who gave me the pass?" The man said it was. He said, "Who is Kim Seong-dae?" The man was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "A man who passed away 2 months ago. We replaced the photograph and used his pass." Gang-hyuk's feet went cold. A dead man's transit pass. The man said, "I will explain as we walk." The two of them continued across the bridge. River wind pushed from both sides. The man said, "I know Lee Dong-chol." He said, "My father." The man said, "We worked together when your father was over here. Warehouse work." He said, "Where is my father now?" The man said, "He is in a small house in the village on this side. His condition is not good. But he is alive." He closed his eyes and opened them. "He is alive." The man said he started getting sick 2 months ago. At first it seemed like a cold, but he has not been able to get up. Someone has been looking after him, which is why he has held on until now. He said, "Why was there no contact?" The man said, "Your father told us not to contact anyone. He did not want his son to worry. But a month ago his condition got worse and I sent a note. Without his permission. He said you did the right thing." They finished crossing the bridge and entered the village on the far side. The alleys were narrow and dark. Street lamps were few and far between. Their footprints pressed into the snow. The man stopped in front of a small house. Door shut. He knocked. A sound inside. Slow, heavy footsteps. The door opened. A middle-aged woman. She exchanged a look with the man. She looked at Gang-hyuk. She told him to come inside. The house was small. One room, one kitchen. The room door was half open. He could hear breathing from inside. He pushed the door open. His father, Lee Dong-chol, 65 years old, lying under a blanket. His face had grown gaunt. His cheeks had hollowed, dark circles under his eyes. But his eyes were open. His father looked at him. His pupils moved. He said, "I came." His father said, "How did you get here?" He said, "I came." His father said, "The transit pass." He said, "I had one." His father did not ask further. He closed his eyes, then slowly opened them again. Gang Hyuk sat beside his father. He straightened the blanket. He took his father's hand. It was cold, but there was a grip in it. His father said, "Your mother." He said, "At home. She is well." His father said, "She must have worried." He said, "Very much." His father said, "I am sorry." He did not answer. There was no need to. They stayed together without speaking for a long time. The room was small. The window was small. River wind sounded outside. His father's breathing filled the room. He said, "Can you sit up?" His father said, "I have been a little better lately, since I heard you were coming." He said, "I did not send word that I was coming." His father said, "I thought you would come. You are my son." His nose stung. His father said, "You must have had a difficult journey." He said it was fine. His father said, "How did the transit pass work out? It has been so long." He hesitated for just a moment. "There was a way," he said. That was all. His father did not ask further. He closed his eyes. Gang Hyuk sat holding his father's hand. Wind came from outside. Lamplight came through the window from the alley. The room held a faint glow. Around 2 in the morning his father fell asleep. Gang Hyuk stepped quietly out of the room. The woman was sitting in the kitchen. He thanked her. She said, "Your father is a good man. He will recover." He went to the small side room and pulled a blanket over himself. He could not sleep. He stared at the ceiling. He had crossed the river under a dead man's name, Kim Seong-dae, a man who had died 2 months ago. Whether that man had known or not, whether he would have agreed or not, there was no way to know. But because of that name he had crossed, he had found his father. Would you have crossed the river using a dead man's name, or looked for another way? Morning came. He got up and boiled water in the kitchen. He pushed open his father's door. His father was lying with his eyes open. He said, "Did you sleep well?" His father said, "I slept properly for the first time in a long while." He said, "You should eat." His father said, "Can you make something?" He said, "I learned from mother." His father gave a small laugh, a laugh he had not seen before. It must have been the first time his father had smiled since getting sick. He went to the kitchen. He made porridge from what was there. A small pot, a little rice, water. He stirred it for a long time. He set a bowl of porridge in front of his father. His father picked up the spoon slowly. 1 mouthful, 2. His father said, "This is good." He said, "I cannot match mother." His father said, "Neither can I." They laughed. In a small room, across the Amnok River, on a winter morning, the time came for him to go back. He needed to cross before the checkpoint closed in the afternoon. His father came to the door. He had forced himself to stand. Gang Hyuk told him not to. His father said, "It is fine." They stood at the door together. His father said, "Stay healthy." He said, "You too." His father said, "Tell your mother I am well." He said, "I will." His father said, "Next time you come, bring a proper transit pass." He said, "I will." They looked at each other briefly. His father looked away first. He walked. He did not look back. On the bridge he looked down at the river. In the darkness of the night before he had not been able to see it properly. Now he could. The ice on the river was thick. On the far bank, low rooftops, chimneys with smoke rising. He took the transit pass from his pocket. Kim Seong-dae, a man who had died 2 months ago. He looked at the name for a long time. Then he folded it and put it back. He passed through the checkpoint and walked toward home. The wind came from behind him. The afternoon of March 10th. Snow had started falling again. Small and quiet. His mother would be waiting. His father is alive. That was what he was carrying home. Those 3 words. A person who was far away was not the same as a person who was gone. A person on the other side of one river was a person who could still come back, even if no one knew when. If this choice stayed with you, the next story begins here too.